Hey, this is Chris with AvigationPro.com. I want to talk to you tonight about the POH in your airplane and the information manual that you should have on your shelf. This is my information manual from the 172 Skyhawk, the airplane I trained in to get my private license back in 2001. This is the information manual for the Piper Seminole. I trained in this airplane to get my multi-engine commercial initial. I did that in 2003. In 2010, I took delivery of a brand new Caravan. I went to flight safety. This is my flight safety Grand Caravan G1000 information manual. And I am currently flying, and I'm filming this in 2015, Cessna 414. This is the reference manual from SimCom. Now, flight safety and SimCom are 142 schools that handle initial and recurrent type training for more advanced aircraft, professional aircraft, people that fly personally and corporate, business aircraft. For me, it's always been flying for other people, corporate. So anyway, we're going to talk about those information manuals and the difference between an information manual and a pilot operating handbook. And I've put together some quick notes we can go over here. First of all, when you start flight training, you're going to learn this very quickly. This acronym AERO, which means Airworthiness Certificate, Registration, O for POH or Pilot Operating Handbook, and W for Weight and Balance. These are the required documents that must be on board the airplane. These information manuals are not examples of POHs. The POH is connected to your specific aircraft by serial number. The weight and balance is connected to that specific aircraft when the airplane was physically weighed. And the weight and balance document is one page in the Pilot Operation Handbook that's going to be on board the airplane. These information manuals, the manufacturers or the schools, they publish them, they produce lots and lots of them, and they give them out to students. And so I suggest that you get an information manual for whatever airplane you're training in. Now there's 3 points I want to make during this lesson, and I've already made the first one, and that's the POH is specific to the serial number aircraft, whereas the information manual provides general information to the specific type, but not the specific airplane. If that seems confusing, let's just say that the information manual should go on your shelf at your library at your house. The POH should stay in the airplane and should not leave the airplane. You should reference the POH regularly on flights, but if you're not at the airplane, you should be looking at the information manual. All of the information is the same, with the minor exception that the POH is linked specifically by serial number. The weight and balance is going to be different. You may want to take the actual weight and balance and make a note so that your numbers will be exact for your planning purposes in your information manual. The second point I'd like to make is you should really make a habit of digging in and studying your information manual. If you use the exact language in this book, it's going to make you sound like a professional, and you're going to look really good preparing for stage checks, check rides, additional training, and it's going to give you a mastery of the vocabulary, and you're going to be more confident in your ability to understand and explain the systems and how the aircraft operates, the limitations, the operational capabilities, everything about the airplane. Quick story, when I did Caravan Initial, the instructor training with me was type rated on a 747. And he says if you go to work for the airlines and you're flying for the major airlines, the pilots reference their books all the time. It's very common. I asked this pilot a question, and he said, well, let me look in the book. And I said, well, don't you know the answer? And he said, yeah, I know the answer, but I want to give you word for word verbatim. So there's never a problem going to the book. In fact, a confident pilot is going to be able to find the answer very quickly. And so being able to rattle a paraphrase off the top of your head is maybe not even as strong as being able to open the book and within just a few seconds flip to the exact passage you're looking for. Um, when it comes to systems, you're going to be asked systems questions like tell me about the engine, tell me about the prop, tell me about the electrical system. I suggest making note cards and writing down verbatim, and I'll show you here my camera. There it is. There, it's coming back up. Yeah, let's say you're flying a 172 and you're taking your private pilot check ride, and the examiner says, tell me about the engine. And you have made note cards, and I'm going to read this verbatim. It's a IO 360 L2A, normally aspirated, direct drive, air-cooled, horizontally opposed, fuel-injected four-cylinder engine with 360 cubic inches of displacement, rated at 160 horsepower at 2400 RPM. Um, I can't rattle that off the top of my head because I haven't been flying this 172. It's been years. As you go over and over the information, though, you'll become more familiar with it. You'll be able to rattle it off quickly. And for the purposes of preparing for a check ride, I suggest you do, take note cards, make note cards, and as you flash through them, a few times at night or as you're doing your ground school lessons, it'll just sink in, and you'll become very comfortable with the vocabulary of aircraft systems that you haven't used before. So, point two, that's what the pros do. So that's what we should do. We should go to these books often, and we should become comfortable with the vocabulary, and it's going to make you more confident, and it's going to make you very impressive as you go into a check ride situation. Point three, if you learn one airplane, you can learn any airplane. I started off in the 172. If you notice this book for the Seminole, it's a trainer multi-engine airplane. It's a thicker book than the 172. It's a bigger book. As you move up into something like a 414, it's a really big book. All this information can look intimidating, but the reality is that all the information is laid out in the same pattern, similar manner. So if you get that foundation of kind of understanding what you need to know, as you move up in aircraft, there are more systems. The systems are complicated. There's more information that you're responsible for, but it's the same type of information. To hammer that point home, I've typed up the table of contents for 3 of these books. They're almost verbatim. The Skyhawk, the Piper Seminole, and the Grand Caravan have these 9 sections. The SimCom book is a little bit different, and it's because of the way they do ground school, and it's just very systems rich. So most of this book is systems, and it's not an actual information manual to replicate the POH that'll be in the airplane. So it's laid out a little bit differently, but even so, it's still it's the same information. It's very similar. It's just very systems rich. So this whole performance, weight and balance, and system section is the bulk of that book. But all of these pilot operating handbooks that stay in the airplane or information manuals that you take home and study are laid out with this basic format. If you learn one, you can learn them all. We'll go over more specifics to what's contained in here in a different lesson, but those are the 3 points that I wanted to make in this quick lesson that I'll throw up tonight. Now, if you like this type of information, if you're working towards a private pilot license, or if you're working towards additional licenses or ratings because you want to fly for a living or anything like that, that's what I'm here for. I've built this whole website for the sake of educating future pilots and pilots. Now, if you come here to my homepage, AvigationPro.com, put in your name and email address, I'm going to send you a free report that'll tell you all about flight training and how I became a professional pilot by the time I was 20, and how you can do the same thing. I'm really on a mission to help people that are going through initial training for their private license. If I can help you, all my contact information is here, and I encourage you to just sign up for the free report. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and my vision here is to just continue to put up lots of free information that'll be helpful. And I hope you found this video helpful. Comment, leave feedback if you got questions, anything else you'd like me to cover. Planning to come up with a lot of videos here in the near future. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.